Merhaba, hoş geldiniz. We are making Filo pastry triangles, Muska Böreği as you say in Turkish, with delicious fillings today. It is one of my children's favorite things, savory pastries to have. And it's really easy to make. Filo pastry sheets I'm using. At home in Turkey you can use yufka sheets too. The trick with Filo pastry sheet is that you need to cover the sheets that you're using. I cut them in stripes here in damp paper towel, not wet but damp to keep it moist. And only take out one at a time as you use. So here I have a filling of leftover mashed potatoes, parsley, olives, and a little bit of leftover grated mozzarella. Another filling I have here is my favorite Turkish beyaz peynir, and I really do love Pınar's beyaz peynir. It's very nice and creamy. Grated mozzarella again, that needed eating, and parsley. In my cookery book here, I also use spinach, which is really lovely, along with the cheese. And you don't really need to cook spinach because it literally wilts as you mix with other ingredients. So let's use the first one, the pastry, beyaz peynir and parsley and mozzarella. And I did wash my hands, but let's have one more wash just before we start because we'll be going hands-on here. And one of the things I highly recommend is not to overfill. This is about as much as I would put, about less than a tablespoonful on this pastry sheet, and about 10 centimeter wide, 4-inch wide would be good, about 25 centimeters long Filo pastry sheet would work. And as you see, I am folding diagonally to form a triangle. And here I have a bowl of cold water with a drizzle of olive oil. With my clean hands I'm wetting the sheet and sealing the end of the pastry. So this is a really good trick you could try, especially with Filo pastry, because with the Filo I know it could be daunting at times to use because it could dry up pretty quickly. So having this act of sealing all the cracks and end bits with water, and this is my baking pan with greased olive oil in it. Right, perfect. So let's try again. Let's this time take another sheet, and this time let's use potato, olives, spring onions. As I said, literally any filling would work. If you have any leftover dill that needs using, fresh mint is fantastic. You could add grated courgettes here, but make sure if you're using courgette, really squeeze out the excess moisture. Once we fold the diagonally triangles, so we are now closing the ends as you see here with oiled water. So that really helps sealing the pastry. Let's do one more time. If you live in the US, the Filo pastry sheets are in the frozen section, whereas in the UK it tends to be in fridge. So if it's frozen, please take out from your fridge 2 hours ahead of time or defrost overnight. Let's do diagonal triangles again. So once you get the hang of it, it really is easy. And seal the end of the pastry. Lovely. And in the meantime, our oven is on preheated 180 Celsius, 350 Fahrenheit. Lovely. And if you're in the UK, Filo pastry sheets are in the fridge in the supermarkets. And if you take out 30 minutes before, that would bring it to room temperature. Perfect. Let's do the last one. You're folding, making diagonal shapes of triangles. In my recipe book, Ozlem's Turkish Table, there are savory pastry with different fillings, with mincemeat, onions, spinach. Literally anything could be a filling, as long as it's sort of a dry consistency. If it's wet and soggy, that would make your pastry soggy too. Perfect. Now that we did our pastry, I have here egg beaten with a drizzle of olive oil. So I'm going to brush this lovely pastry with this mixture. This would make a fantastic snack, would make a great meze as well as part of your breakfast or with cup of tea. It freezes really well once it's cooked. I wouldn't freeze it before cooking because the pastry could get soggy. But once you cook, you can put the cooked triangles in a freezer bag and keep in the freezer, and then you can reheat in the preheated oven 180 degrees for about 5 minutes. Right, now this will be going into my preheated oven, 180 degrees, 350 Fahrenheit, and it will cook for 20 to 25 minutes. And once it's cooked, it will be like this. It really is very delicious, very Moorish. You can prep ahead of time, and it's a real crowd pleaser for family and friends. I hope you enjoy it. Afiyet olsun and thank you.